What is the percentage of people involved in crypto? We're going to find that out in this video, as well as, of course, looking at the charts, looking at some potential trade opportunity. Enough talking, enough chatting though. Let's begin. So, to answer the question, this is a very, very important survey that I came across, and that is relating to the actual population that are into crypto, that are involved in it, have purchased it, know about it, etc., etc. So, this website, the FinTech Times, right, surveyed a bunch of people, and the countries that were involved in this survey were the US, the UK, Canada, Germany, Italy, Austria, and Bulgaria. And they said 20% own Bitcoin now or had done in the past. Ownership climbs higher in the US, 24%, and Bulgaria, 36%. Beyond Bitcoin, the report showed that the most known currencies were Bitcoin Cash, 31% of consumers, Ethereum, 22%, and Litecoin, 19%. Ownership rates followed a similar trend, with Bitcoin Cash 9%, slightly leading Ethereum, which was very surprising, and Litecoin 7%. Now, of course, as you can see, the countries that were involved in this survey were Western countries, first world countries, so it's likely that the trends are going to be quite similar, especially the US being the one with the biggest crypto community. However, there are like South Korea and Japan, which are also very popular, but the US is just the biggest, I guess. So, you know, it makes sense. And also a lot of the crypto companies, or Coinbase notably, are in the US. So, but this is very important. The fact that the number, this is the most important insight that I gained from this. And that is, firstly, that the percentage is only 20%. 20% said that they owned Bitcoin now or had done in the past, which is such a small figure. That is the main insight that I got from this. 20%. So there is still 80%, or even forget 80%, which is the 400. Even if we had double what it is right now, imagine how much higher or further the market would get with that extra 20%. Now, having said that, of course, retail investors like myself, like most people that are watching, don't move the market as much as institutions. So it would be very interesting to know the percentage of the same survey done with institutions. But I think the answer would probably be potentially a bit smaller, because the issue with institutions is still that they are unable to get as involved because of regulation. And they need the green light to be able to actually purchase a Bitcoin, put it on the books and things like that. But nonetheless, it's a very, very interesting survey. Continuing on, that said, consumer understanding appears to be trending higher. Almost a third, 29% of respondents said that they know more now about crypto than the same time last year, with a quarter saying that they are more likely to invest in cryptocurrencies today compared to 12 months. So massive step forward, of course, very good, and we still have a long way to go. And I do suspect, kind of going forward into the end of the year, that number is going to increase further and further. Of course, when the hype train goes further and increases, more people are going to want to get involved. So I definitely expect that to change over time. Next, we have Dogecoin and Cardano added as payment methods on local Bitcoin. Now, this is not a huge deal because local Bitcoins, which has been around since 2012, it's a peer-to-peer site where you would literally like trade with another person on the internet for Bitcoin or whatever. And they've now added a few more cryptocurrencies to their trading pairs. So you can now use Tether, USDC, Polkadot, Cardano, Bitcoin Cash, Chainlink, and Dogecoin. But the reason why I mentioned this is in relation to the second article relating to Dogecoin. And the more the year progresses, the more time progresses, the more Dogecoin is transitioning away from being an absolute joke coin and a meme coin to having an actual use case. So this is very, very interesting to see. Leading on to the next article, which is that Dogecoin is now, Coinbase have announced that they are finally supporting Dogecoin, firstly on Coinbase Pro and then moving over to Coinbase. So Coinbase, the most important regulated crypto exchange in the US and the only publicly traded one, announced that Dogecoin deposits are now available for clients of its Pro platform. And before continuing this article, if you know how to use Coinbase Pro, or you have experience using more complex trading platforms, definitely go and use Coinbase Pro. Reason being is because you actually, I think it's either free or extremely low fees when you use Coinbase Pro. When you set limit orders instead of market orders, which is essentially you can think of it as the cheaper version. So instead of paying the fees that you would on Coinbase, the kind of normal platform or the user-friendly platform, if you use Coinbase Pro, you pay less fees when you use limit orders. So that is a hack where you can actually save some money if you're making several trades. However, it is a little bit more difficult to use if you have never used a trading platform with, you know, the more advanced features. So, but it's worth learning if you want to save some money. So Dogecoin starts trading, will start trading in 3 days, assuming everything goes according to plan and the expected minimum liquidity is achieved. So, as I said, Dogecoin is becoming less of a joke coin, you know, compared to the other memes, and more of a serious coin. A little bit more, as in there's actually use cases for it. Now, this article is a little bit confusing. Nani? Reason being is because now, as you can see, Standard Chartered, which is a UK bank, are looking to basically add a crypto desk, so they can allow, or launch a brokerage, so they can allow institutions to trade Bitcoin, Ether, and digital assets. But the reason why it's confusing, well, it's not really confusing, but that's because many of these banks will consistently say that Bitcoin is trash, that Bitcoin has no value, Ethereum, etc. has no value, it's all a bubble. And now they turn around and say this, you know what, we want to add a trading desk because we want to serve our clients, blah, 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 there's demand. So it's very funny to see these banks turn around and do this when they're the ones who always trash Bitcoin in the beginning. And then when they see that how much money is involved in it, they turn around and get involved. So that's the reason why it's confusing, because, you know, to the lay person, the normal person, you would think, if you're not that involved in Bitcoin or crypto, you would look at the statements from these banks early on and see that, oh, you know, since Santander say it's rubbish, then, you know, I'm not going to invest in it, it's too risky, blah, blah, blah. And next thing you know, they are fully involved in it, creating a trading desk. So very, very interesting. Another one bites the dust, as they say. Now, let's transition over to the charts and look at what we can see today. First and foremost, let's have a look at PancakeSwap. I did mention this in the last video. I said that if it stays above this level, then it is primed to go ahead and attack the next level at around $20. It's done this and has exceeded it. The next major level that is in its way, the next target will be $22, and then it'll probably get rejected and look to make another move. Potentially, it could revisit the top of this high at $17 or $16.80, and then continue on to the upside. So PancakeSwap is looking good. It's looking good to continue its upwards trend. Now, of course, it doesn't mean it's out of the woods, but it is looking good to continue. Support level, as I said, is at $16.80, and the next major target is, I repeat, $22 if it stays above this level. Now, the power levels for this crypto are very high. It's over 9,000. I've mentioned this crypto quite a few times, you know, stating that it's got big potential, and every time it doesn't disappoint. Having said that, you can see there's many rejections. So there is quite a lot of profit taking going on with this crypto. So every time it blasts to the moon, you know, last time it got up to $14 and some change, it got rejected all the way back down to these levels. So although this has very high power levels, we need it to close above $9, stay above that level, and then make it support. Once it can make it support, then we can build and really look to the upside. But very bullish for this crypto long term. Once all this sell side pressure kind of subsides, once, I don't know who's selling, if there's whales or whatever, but once they kind of get out of the way, then it can really start to build and kind of, you know, build its trajectory to the moon. A quick look at its ETH pairing. You can see that this long trend line is actually now just about to be broken. This long-standing counter trend line, it's been in the way since January this year, and it's been rejected as the third time. If it can actually close above this, that's extremely bullish. So that's what we need to wait for till the end of the week. Hopefully it can kind of stay above this, and then trust me, this is going to the moon. Having said that, that is unsolicited, unprofessional advice, of course. Have to always add the disclaimer. Now, the next crypto that we're looking at is MATIC. This one I have to get proper reading on. As I've said to you in the past, in the last few weeks, this is definitely a contrarian viewpoint, and that is that it potentially is kind of burns out. A lot of upside has undergone in the last few weeks, few months, and now we're getting quite a bit of sell side pressure. So you can see these wicks pushing it down, and that's creating pressure to push it to the downside. The bullish case for this is if it stays above this level of 172, a clear high and resistance, which is now acting as support. If it can hold this, if it can hold that, then it can reverse or stay there and then move to the upside towards $2.80. However, you can see these wicks going further lower and lower. People are not willing to pay for MATIC at a high price. So if it doesn't hold, if that level doesn't hold and it breaks, then it opens up the floor down to $1.10. As I said, this is a contrarian viewpoint, and to the kind of MATIC army, the Polygon army, I'm just telling you what I'm seeing on the charts. As I said, there is a bull case scenario, but I'm just seeing all this upside and not enough retracement to kind of counter all of this upside. But we'll see. Let's see over time. You know, I've been wrong many times, but if I'm right, just know I'm going to swivel around this chair, you know, and take the credit. Now, Ethereum is actually looking rather bullish today, even though there is resistance ahead at 2,800. Once it gets past there, then we can be a little bit more excited. However, this could potentially be somewhat of a bearish like wedge pattern. You know, if you actually aim this upwards like this, then this is essentially like a bearish flag or a bearish pennant, whatever you want to call it. There is potential for that, and if that is the case, the bearish case scenario would be a break to the downside and the retest of that $2,000 level. Now, we always have to consider all possibilities. You know, it's very important to not get blindsided. This is what I put in my private Telegram group. Look at all possibilities, bearish or bullish, and just analyze the charts. So let's see. If it is not the bearish case scenario, then like I said, it needs to break above 2.8 and then kind of start to form highs and higher lows and make this into support. Turn that resistance into support, then we can actually start to become more bullish. Similar situation with Chainlink. You can see that kind of upwards trend, whether it's ignoring this high or even including it. It's exactly the same as Ethereum. It's the same chart, same pattern. So whatever happens to Ethereum or Link, they're gonna kind of move in tandem. So it's going to be very interesting to see what happens in the next few days. Now, we have a clear resistance level for Chainlink at around $33 to $35. So it needs to get above that and claim that as support to build upon that and continue to the upside. Downside support for this is around $25. That's the one of the key support levels that you can see over here. Now, Dogecoin is also exhibiting very high power levels. You can see, of course, straight vertical from the reversal. I'm actually a bit gutted that I did not get involved in that trade. I should have seen that coming. So definitely a missed opportunity. It's now finding resistance at a previous support level at 45 cents. So this could definitely drive it back to around 39-40 cents. Now, if it can hold this level of 40 cents, then it can reclaim that as support and build to the upside past 45 cents towards 50 cents and 55 cents. If it doesn't hold this level of 39-40 cents, then I think a revisit of that support level at 30 cents is on the card, and prior to that, 33 cents. So let's see, it's looking very bullish, and of course with the Coinbase hype train pushing it forward, once it becomes fully active, then it's going to get even more people wanting to get involved in it. This is one of the biggest meme coins around. So once people see that they can buy Doge, now a lot of people are waiting to buy it. So this could definitely push it even further to the moon. So let's keep an eye on that. As I said, power levels are looking very high for Dogecoin right now.
It's over 9,000.
Let's just finish off by looking at the total market cap, and then we'll wrap this up. The one thing that I am noticing with the total market cap, which is definitely a red flag, is the fact that there is some resistance up ahead. We've got support level or resistance initially, and then it's into support, and that's around 1.7 trillion. And we're now approaching this level. So it might become a situation where the market gets pushed back down from this level, and then we have to reclaim either 1.3 trillion as support, or just build another higher high. It could be like a double bottom, who knows. But there is some support up ahead, so it kind of goes in line with some of the patterns that we've seen, some kind of bearish patterns. So let's just kind of keep an eye on it and be ready for it if that happens. That'll be all for this video. See you in the next one. Peace.